So I just got out of Barbie. This video will have very slight spoilers. As you can tell from the thumbnail, I really enjoyed Barbie. Given the talent involved and the rave pre-release critical reviews, I was expecting a good film and I got exactly what I expected. The biggest compliment I can give the film is its script, which felt both smart and creative, dealing with several complex themes with nuance and grace. It's not a flawless script and not every Joker theme lands 100% for me, but Gerwig and Baumbach are no slouches and they did not hold back for their Barbie adaptation. This is a smart script with really great humor that maneuvers through challenging topics like the pressures both women and men feel in their lives, individual identity, and to a lesser extent, concepts like family and consumerism with the elegance and sensitivity you'd expect out of the subject in question. I've been seeing a lot of culture warrior reactionaries claim that this film hates men or something, and I really didn't get that whatsoever. It both pokes fun and respects various aspects of both masculinity and femininity. So I want to reiterate, the film does not hate men, not even a little bit. Anyone telling you that is lying to you and needs to go back to Media Literacy 101. But it does critique the societal structures that prioritize men, ultimately advocating for a more balanced society both within the boundaries of Barbie Land and our own reality. This is a far cry from hating men. It merely calls for equality. Now with that said, it does poke fun at some of the sillier aspects of traditional masculinity from a woman's perspective, but it does the same for certain aspects of traditional femininity. While feminine themes clearly take the forefront in a film like this, as they probably should, as a man, I actually thought the way it tackled men's rights and men's place in the world with a refreshing amount of nuance, including the ways that traditional masculinity can both fuel destructive behaviors, and yet how in certain aspects it can in fact be a positive. But really, this film is about the ladies, and that's a perspective I will never experience firsthand. If the film hates on anything, it's about how women feel undue amounts of pressure in almost every aspect of their lives. It doesn't say that men don't feel pressure, and in fact it also tactfully deals with the pressures that men feel. For example, with Ken's feelings of lacking attention. Though it does focus most of its efforts in telling its story from a woman's perspective, which, I mean, makes sense. Almost every movie ever is about men and the pressures men feel, so it is refreshing to me as a male viewer to hear other perspectives. So with that in mind, I would recommend people of all demographics go check this out, if only to potentially hear from a perspective that's somewhat rarely seen in media at this scale. It's good to hear from other perspectives, even if you may not fully understand, relate, or even agree with them. So yeah, the film script definitely handles complex themes, but even outside of that, the film is a lot of fun. I'm not a big comedy movie guy at all. It takes a lot for a movie to make me laugh, and this movie made me laugh a fuck ton. The final number near the end of the film involving all of the Kens was maybe some of the most fun I've had in a film in a very long time. I was nearly in tears from how much fun it was and how engaged I was. The other sequence I absolutely adored was Ken exploring the city and realizing what he had been missing in the world in regard to his masculinity. He was truly living in a woman's world, to the point where Barbie wasn't even sure where the Kens slept at night, with the Barbies obviously living in lavish homes. I felt the film drew a powerful parallel between Ken's experiences and those of women navigating our current male-dominated world. I think the term patriarchy triggers a lot of people, which is kind of funny to me, but when people use it unironically, all they really mean is that men, globally, currently, and throughout history, tend to hold virtually all institutional power, and that women can subsequently feel sidelined and unheard. That's it. In this film, the men sort of get a taste of that, and they also get a taste of what liberation might feel like. I don't usually talk about production design, but I really enjoyed Barbie Land. My eyes were glued to the screen trying to explore its world as best I could. It was truly gorgeous, and I really like the style of some of the more surreal and imaginative elements. The performances by Robbie, Gosling, and Ferrera are all top-notch, owing both to their individual talents and the skill of the film's director. There was also a sub-theme running through it all, dealing with identity, something that Barbie and Ken both struggled with in their own unique ways, and I applaud the film for managing to juggle them separately while managing to keep its message cohesive. Again, this is a very solid script written by two of the best in the game, and it comes through. Barbie isn't flawless, and I don't want to say it crosses every T and dots every I, but it is a gem that mostly works. The direction and performances are great, and it's truly imaginative and funny. It deals with complex themes of womanhood as well as manhood and individual identity without feeling preachy or condescending. My biggest issue is that at one point it turns into a Chevy commercial, but hey, you gotta pay for the movie somehow, I guess. Look, If hearing a woman's perspective on the world or seeing a black person in a film triggers you, you should probably avoid this film. It's also not a dumb, broad comedy, which there's nothing wrong with those types of films, but I think it's a lot smarter than most general audiences are going to expect. But there's enough humor to keep most people engaged, and there's a coherent story with characters that you like who have arcs and motivations, so there's a lot to like, I think, for both general audiences and people looking for something with a little more meat to it. What were your thoughts on Barbie? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.